Willmore Wilderness Park is one of the most beautiful places in Alberta, roughly 4,600 square kilometers. Jasper National Park is the southern border, BC is the western border, and the Kakwa drainage is the northern border. A lot of people don't know this, but it's also an improvement district unto itself. It's ID number 25. Many years ago, the Aboriginal people cut trails through the park so they could travel, maintained them as well, and 100 and some years ago when the Forest Service took over management of that area, they had a trail clearing program and they maintained the trails until the 1960s. About that time, helicopters came into being and they no longer used horses to do their backcountry patrols. After the Forest Service began using helicopters extensively, trails were maintained by the outfitters. A lot of trail work was done by people like George Kelly, who passed away some years ago. Leroy Charlotte was on, who did a lot of trail work. Tom Vinson. Tom Winnie-Andy worked for me for quite a number of years, and we did a lot of trails in the western end of the park. In 2002, Parks took over the management of the Willmore Wilderness area. Since that time, especially the trails have deteriorated, partly because of lack of funding and partly because of severe weather and flooding that have really destroyed the trails in the Willmore Wilderness area. Since that time, we've donated a lot of our man hours. There have been a few dedicated individuals who have put a lot of time in there. We've donated our horses in the last couple of years. Eddie Rayner has donated his horses and equipment in an attempt to keep these trails open for the general public to use. And bridging needs to be done across soft spots. Signage is a big problem because there isn't very much. One example would be on the upper sheep. For people that don't know their way, it's going through the muskegs in that area. It's a difficult choice for some of the people to make if they don't have someone along with them to know where the best route is. Signage would be really helpful in places like that. Some of the river crossings have flooded out. They have to be rerouted. The trail system in the Willmore is getting to be an almost insurmountable task to keep up to. We realize the park department is short-staffed and underfunded to do this kind of work, so the job has fallen onto the shoulders of volunteer organizations like ours. There's many hundreds of kilometers of trail in the Willmore Wilderness area to keep maintained and cleared out. Without a decent trail system in the Willmore Wilderness, it'll be seldom used by people, not only from Alberta and North America, but there's a growing number of tourists from Europe and even from Asia who want to use this area. The Willmore Wilderness is really the jewel of the Alberta Rockies.